Alright there everyone, how's it going? So today I bring you my UFC 253 predictions. First fight I'll be predicting will be Dominic Reyes versus Jan Blahavich. So let's get into it then. It's just insanely refreshing, to have this fight because John Jones was the champ for years and years and years. Then DC won it and then John Jones won it back, but it was a no contest, and then John Jones won it back again and defended it 3 times. Two questionable decisions. I mean, I personally thought he won the Thiago Santos one, but obviously Dominic Reyes beat him. Those first 3 rounds was 100% Reyes's, but they still gave it to Jones for some reason. But there you go. It is what it is, isn't it? As Max Holloway says. But yeah, it's just awesome that these guys are going to fight. Jan did amazing in his last fight against Corey Anderson. Like, Corey was doing alright to begin with, but then he just got him really close with that. I think it was the low calf kick, and then Jan just managed to catch him with a big right hand, and lights out in it. Jan obviously knocked out Rockhold, and when he fought Jacare, I felt like Jacare won, but the judges gave it to Jan, so there you go. It is what it is, isn't it, at the end of the day? But he is insanely powerful. He's been in the game for years and years, as we all know. He did throw down with Thiago Santos, but then Santos managed to knock him out, so there you go. But Reyes, obviously, young blood, up-and-comer, absolute beast. Beat Jones, in my opinion. Just an absolute don, to be honest. What can I say? This is how I see the fight going. Because, I want to bring up a point quickly. Reyes, right, whenever when he fought Volkan Oezdemir, people thought Volkan won, Volkan was wrestling him a bit, but it was a close fight. But when Volkan fought DC wrecked him, and then obviously DC fought Jones wrecked him twice, and then Reyes fought Jones, but Dominic Reyes managed to beat Jones. And that, you can argue, steroids, but at the end of the day, it's maybe John Jones is just getting too old for this. Maybe he's unmotivated to fight these young people. No, I don't mean old. I know that John Jones is 33, 34, no, 33. And the thing is, he's done this for a long time now, and him going up to heavyweight might, relight his fire, and he might become insanely motivated. Or he just doesn't want to fight the light heavyweights because he knows he'll get beaten. Maybe he thinks I can make more money at heavyweight, or these guys aren't as good at the guys at light heavyweight, or whatever. But yeah, to be honest, I feel like Dominic Reyes will be able to angle off better against Jan, and his footwork and his movement will just be too much. You can get some people with the big right hand, but Reyes, you can't, you're not going to clip him and floor him. So, I think Reyes will probably just get a unanimous decision and be the light heavyweight champ. I mean, I did think Jan was going to beat Jones if they were going to fight, mainly because all Jones did in that, or in recent fights, all he's really done is just hold his hands out. Well, actually, no. All the time, he usually just holds his hands out to defend. And then, not always, he does have footwork as well, but then people will come over and manage to hit him. Not all the time, but sometimes, and I just feel like a really insanely powerful guy like him, if you're just holding your hands out, trying to defend that way, and he'll just come over and knock you out. But I probably would have been wrong with that one, to be fair. This fight's very interesting. If Reyes wins, I would love to see him versus Thiago Santos. I think that's the fight we all want. Yeah. Now is time for Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Yeah, this is one for the ages, isn't it? I mean, I've doubted Israel Adesanya so many times now. I mean, I predicted he'd beat Marvin Vettori, Brad Tavares. Pretty sure he fought someone else, can't remember. Then Silva, Gastelum, I predicted him to win. But Whittaker, I thought to myself, well, he's obviously just going to use... Whittaker's going to use his wrestling clinch work and being the bigger guy, just Like, the thing is, I know Whittaker usually mostly boxes and kicks and whatever, like, you know, kickboxing, but I thought, alright, you're going against a specialist here, you're going to shoot for the takedown, you're going to give him different looks, you're not just going to stand in front of him. But, alright, he didn't stand in front of him, but the only ranges that he was doing, the only range he had was all the way out, or he'd come all the way in, all the way right in his face, all the way in the pocket. And it's like, it's even though Whittaker won that first round, it's just so predictable and daft. You're not going to be able to do that against a kickboxer. It's ridiculous. But then, you know, Israel dropped him at the end of the first. You could have given that first round to Israel because if there'd been an extra 5 seconds, he would have finished it. But or been close to finishing it. But I gave it to Whittaker because he was winning most of that round and Israel wasn't doing much. But in the second, Israel just wrecked him. Just managed to get the counter punch and just flatlined him. There you go. Bish bosh bang. Fought Romero. I thought Romero was going to wrestle him. I thought Romero's a higher caliber of wrestler than Whittaker, way higher. He'll be able to take him down. But no, just stood with him. Didn't really do much at all, really. Israel just kept jabbing, front kicking him, and obviously Israel was playing it safe, but he was doing a lot more than Romero does. All Romero did was come at him at the last 30 seconds of the 5th round and land a big left hand in the first round. That's pretty much all Romero really did. I think he attempted like a few takedowns here and there, but Israel just easily, like, he defended them with ease. And now you've got him against Costa, and I mean, Costa versus Romero, it was a razor close fight. A lot of people think Romero won. Costa did land. It was just a massive brawl, really. Romero's got his shot, so that fight doesn't really matter. So I don't really know who you give it to be honest. I guess you could have given it to Romero, but at the end of the day, they had a razor close fight. Israel, you could tell he was beating Romero. I know Costa will probably come rushing forward and will actually do stuff and not just throw a few little things here and there. So the thing is as well, Costa's probably like the biggest middleweight, one of the biggest middleweights ever. Because on fight night for 241, he came in at 213 pounds 5.5, and Israel, I mean, sometimes he's come 2 pounds underweight. So you'd imagine on fight night he's probably only 180, 187. Well, for that one anyway, when he was 2 pounds underweight. Maybe usually he's 188. I don't know, 189. Whatever the point is, he's one of the smallest middleweights ever. Incredibly skinny. But again, he is a specialist. So, you know, you've got to be careful with him. I think this is obvious, though, that Israel's going to win. Adesanya will just absolutely wreck Costa. I can't see him finishing him, but I can see him definitely getting another decision. I suppose he could counterpunch Costa, but it seems that Costa's chin is amazing. Also, when he fought Uriah Hall, he was getting jabbed for ages. You know, so he's good, don't get me wrong. He's smart and good, really bulky, massive guy. But he's not at the striking IQ level of Israel Adesanya. And he's not going to... I mean, I'm sure his grappling's pretty decent, but he's not going to shoot for the takedown on Adesanya. There's no chance of that happening. So I think Adesanya will get a unanimous decision. So that's that. Yeah, I don't really know much about the rest of the fighters on the card. Sorry about that. I'm pretty sure they're not adding any more at this point. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, forget that. Let's see if I can find people I know. Alright then, Wikipedia announced bouts. Mackenzie Dern, I think she'll win. Shane Young, I think he'll win. Diego Sanchez versus Jake Matthews. Nice fight. I don't know why Diego's still fighting, though. I think Sanchez will probably get it done. He's very tough. Matthews is decent and all, but I think Sanchez, you know, the toughness will just the mentally, you know, just how mentally tough he is. I think he can just brawl and just batter him, basically. Pretty much like what he did to Mickey Gall. I think Hakeem will win. Claudia, she'll win as well. Yeah, that's it really. I know people are getting annoyed, but at the end of the day, I do have different interests other than MMA. If you listen to the podcast, I talk about all sorts of stuff. MMA isn't my only interest. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoy the video anyway. See you in the next one.